I don't know about you, but I find this gospel to be one of the most challenging gospels in the entire New Testament on so many different levels. But the challenge that strikes me to the core is I can't be selective in helping others. I can't try to sit there and decide who deserves my goodness or my generosity. I must extend it to everyone equally and freely. I must give it to the stranger who calls and says, "You don't know me, but can you help?" It happened yesterday noon. Hello, hello. I still, even though there's 2 new kids in town, I'm still the number that's when you call after hours, the office number, that still gets me. And he said, "You don't know me. I'm starting a job Monday in 2 Rivers. I recently moved back to Manitowoc. I have nothing to eat and I have no money." So I said, "Well, come to the 4 o'clock Mass." He said, "I'm not Catholic." I said, "That's all right. Come anyway. And we'll get you set up with some script," hint, hint. So after Mass, we went and I got him $100 worth of Walmart script. He's a stranger. He's not Catholic. But I can't be selective to with whom I share. I must give to the one who comes all the time. The ones, they just keep coming back over and over and over again. I need to give to them too. And I need to give to the one who has a reputation with all the agencies in town of taking advantage of us. I have to give to whomever Christ uses to present himself that day, at that moment. I can't be selective. Now, I can question why he disguises himself, why Jesus disguises himself so often in people who are so hard to love. I can question that, and I can argue with him about that till I'm blue in the face, but I can't say no, because he is the one who chooses whom he will send into my life. And besides, as the old saying goes, a stranger is simply a friend that I have not yet met. And the one who comes back over and over does so because he or she has found someone who will give. And as for those who maybe don't really need it, God will sort that all out. Every once in a while, somebody will say to me, "Well, how do you know what they're using this for? What they're going to spend it on? It might be something," and I say, that isn't the issue. God is simply saying, "Can I trust you? Will you pass the test of giving to me disguised as this person?" I am so blessed in my ability to be able to be generous. And I am so blessed because all of you are so good to me. You are constantly inviting me and supporting me in the outreach mission that is all of ours. And what I give when people come is not from parish funds. I don't use the parish credit card. And the Good Shepherd Fund is for those who come to the office and are in need of not emergency help so much as a kind of an ongoing help with their rent or whatever. But what I give is either my own personal funds or money that you give me. It is your willingness to be so generous to me that enables me to be a sheep and not a goat. Sometimes the giver will say, "Hey, I won $1,500 at the casino last night," and give me a $100 bill and say, "Use this for someone in need." Sometimes, as last year, it'll be a little kid who said, "I got $130 for my first communion. Here's 20 for some little child that is poor." Or one that touched me so deeply, this little kid gave me $5 and he said, "My baby brother got baptized Sunday and he got $50 and he can't talk for himself, but I know he'd want this for a poor child. So here's $5 of his gifts." And as Christmas approaches, it'll happen dozens of times where people will give me some money and say, "You have a greater handle on who could use help, and you would know better than I how this could be best directed." And I do use all of that then, without judgment, just trusting that God is the judge, not me. God will do the separating of the sheep and goats. And perhaps at the end of time, when I watch that unfold, I will want to say to God, "No, I think you got it wrong. I think he should be a goat, not a sheep." You know, and people would say that about me. "How did he get in the sheepfold? He should be on the other side too." I can remember when my grandmother died about a week before my first communion, and I said to my grandpa, "This just isn't right, this isn't fair. I wish I could pick who gets to die and who gets to live." And Grandpa said to me, "No, you don't. Your teacher would have picked you." Oh, yes. I trust that God is more merciful and generous and compassionate than I could ever be. So let's all trust that whenever someone crosses our path, or whenever an idea of helping someone comes into our minds, it is Christ disguising himself, just to see how you and I will respond. Let's all say, "Here you go," and let's all be sheep in the end.